Weekend events. Special game modes you can play in Brawl Stars every weekend for an easy 500 tokens. Some say they're the best thing ever to something not even worth playing. Why? Well, first let's take a look at the boss battle. The classic mode where you're put up against a big robot who can shoot missiles, shoot bigger missiles, run fast, and punch. Throughout the battle, support bots come after you as well. And after a few rounds of this, the boss can get enraged up to God mode. But that's about it. I feel the strong point of Brawl Stars game modes are in their simplicity. Each permanent game mode is as bare bones as it can get. The objective is set in stone. And it's the same for boss battle, the only difference being it's PvE, player versus entity. You're quite literally facing against bots. They're predictable and boring. But maybe that's just this one. How about Robo Rumble? In this mode, robots come after your safe and try to destroy it. I think this mode's a lot worse than boss battle, really just because there's a time limit. I don't like not having control in the match. Otherwise, it's still really boring. It's even more predictable than the last mode, where the only change after every new stage is the difficulty of the bots. Like at least in boss battle, the robot gets new abilities, but here they just get stronger. It is so lame. I feel the only redeeming factor in these two modes is how you can form fun team comps to beat the harder stages. And even then you're doing it for nothing. There's no point in going past the 5 wins. Whatever, I think the third weekend event is far better. Big game. Here there's a big person and you kill the big person. That's it. So why do I like this one more? Well, it's not PvE, that's a good start. You never know which brawler is the big guy, so whoever you choose, you have to work around it. And it's the same the other way around. But it does have a few major issues. Like the others, there's no point in playing it a bunch. You don't even get a cool number in your profile for beating it a bunch. I also feel like it's a bit too basic. Sure, it's fun to be super overpowered, but it's just the same brawlers we know, but bigger. Alongside these 3 modes were 2 removed weekend events, which are somehow worse than the ones we have today, like Super, City, Rampage. If you watched any of my other videos before, you most likely know how much I despise this mode. Big robot dinosaur jumps around, he swishes his tail, eats some buildings, and then he's dead. That's it. You have no control over how fast he eats them since he just goes right to chomping. So if you choose like Poco, you're not winning. As well as this, throwing is a big issue. I always got that one teammate who chose Cold and used the super to destroy the buildings we were trying to protect. As well as this, cheesing was way too easy to do. This is just ridiculous. I'm glad it's gone and it better not come back anytime soon. The latest weekend event to be removed was Last Stand. Here you protected a moving safe, 8-bit. He's sometimes powered down, so you had to collect coins around the map to power him back up. The biggest problem with this was 8-bit himself. He would just walk into danger, and teammates just did not know what they were doing. This mode was just a train wreck in every way possible. Though it did have a fun animation with it. That's good. Okay, we know how bad they are, but what could we do to improve them? Well, with boss battle, the implementation of new interesting abilities every stage, at least the first 5, would make the mode so much more interesting. For example, stage 1 could be normal, the one we have now. Stage 2 could bring us to like an ice environment, and he shoots loose super and freezing attacks instead of missiles. So on and so forth, maybe even recapping all the previous seasons while we're at it. I think this would be so fun, and it would give an actual reason to keep playing this mode, not just for a silly number. With Robo Rumble, I think the biggest flaw is the scaling system. There's nothing exciting each time you play. They just get purple or yellow. I think having something like bot brawlers trying to destroy the safe would be neat alongside robots. Or maybe even having separate safes you have to protect to actually get you moving. I don't know, but this one in particular just needs a makeover somehow. Big game doesn't need too much in my opinion, but I think it would be super cool if you could get like a bunch of new abilities when you're the big brawler. As well as this, to balance it out, give the normal brawlers the ability to trap the big brawler, like the ability to put down bell traps or bow mines. I don't know, something to make it more interesting but not too complex. And for the removed game modes, Super City Rampage can stay dead. But if they were to change it, a bigger map would be nice, take away the capability to break buildings yourself, and maybe even have the minecarts from Minecart Madness to come back as cars. That would be so sick. And finally, I never played Lone Star, so I can't really say too much, but the idea of a moving safe that can attack is just really cool. But for the love of all that's good, please do not put AI on our team. But wait, there was actually one more game mode that I did not tell you about, and that's the subscribe button.